Fabian Hurzeler has come into the Premier League and is taking it by storm already. His Brighton side won 3-0 this weekend against Everton. Let's discuss some of the nuances in his tactics and how he's going to do this season. Just before I start, please like the video and pop subscribe on the channel. It really helps me. I'm not the same as all of these YouTubers like The Club, where it's just constant clickbait content. I actually try and offer some value, going into depth on the tactics, the stats, talking about what's happening, and offering you guys the opportunity to involve yourselves down in the comments below and let me know your thoughts. So they were pressing in a 4-4-2 against Everton, and obviously with being a Sean Dyche team, they're looking for more of a direct pass opposed to just trying to play out the back relentlessly. Last season it was very effective how Everton played. They stayed up amid points deduction. Obviously it was a very weak bottom three, but they still stayed up with Dyche. You can see here how high the Brighton line was. This was an early opportunity for Everton in the first half. The match was still 0-0, and you can see that it's a high block that they're playing. Everton managed to get out wide, and in the end they do play the ball through the middle. Decore runs for own goal, and in the end Dwight McNeil bottles it, and they didn't score, but it was offside anyway. And this was after Everton broke the press, so this was Brighton's second wave of pressing. Obviously the front four players had been bypassed, so it was then on to the midfield and the defence to do their thing. And as I say, the pressing of 4-4-2, it's a very atypical way to press, especially because they've got Joao Pedro and they had Welbeck up front. Also signed Jorginho Rutter, so it's obviously going to be that 4-4-2 press, and the attacker behind the striker, whether it's Joao Pedro, whether it's Rutter, is going to be heavily involved in the attacking phase, and they're going to be a second striker. And we did see Everton cause Brighton a few problems early on, and to be honest, if it was on another day, I feel like Brighton could have been 2 or 3-0 down before half time, because Everton were getting in behind, they were causing chances. Decore was looking dangerous, Dwight McNeil was looking dangerous, Jack Harrison was looking very dangerous. I think they scored a goal from a corner. I think Jack Harrison was slightly offside. So Hurzeler, he kind of had the rub of the green. So what I'm going to show you now is in the space for about 10 seconds. So you can see the Brighton player, they're springing a counter attack. They've just dispossessed it from the Everton midfield. I think it may have been Idrissa Gana Gueye who gave the ball away, but it's Joao Pedro or Mitoma running through the middle. And you can see that the Brighton players are all running forward. You've got your two wingers stretching the pitch. You've got Welbeck through the middle just trying to cause the centre-back some issues. And before you know it, Welbeck gets the ball and he passes it outright to Minter, who's been really good from Newcastle. I can't believe Newcastle didn't put a buyback clause in that contract, but he just runs directly into the Everton box and squares it across goal for Mitoma to kick home 1-0. Such an incisive attack, such a clinical way to score a goal. And I feel like Mitoma under De Zerbi, he definitely wasn't as strong as he was under Graham Potter, but I feel like Mitoma could really be used so well now. It's clear that Brighton's attacking phase, especially with the counter-attack, is go narrow as much as you can, splash it out wide to one of the wingers. They've got Adingra who came off the bench once Minter was injured, they've got Mitoma, they just attack at such pace and venom. And then here's the next highlight that I want to show you. So the player just below the referee, I think it's Wieffer, intercepts the Everton pass, and instantly they're off a counter-attack. Next thing you know, he passes it through Danny Welbeck, and Danny Welbeck again, he's got Mitoma on one side of him, Adingra on the other side of him. He's got the midfield trio. A couple of touches later, he's on the edge of the Everton box. They've got an overload, and he scores. A couple of key stats from this game as well. Brighton had 62% of possession. Obviously Ashley Young got that red card in the 62nd minute, so it's sort of 66th minute, so it does skew the stats a little bit, and it's an Everton side with Dyche, but it was an Everton home performance, and they didn't have much of the ball. Brighton had 1.43 XG compared to Everton's 0.62. As I said, Everton probably should have got a goal or two early on in the match, but it still doesn't take away from the clinical nature of Brighton's play. Now it's clear that they've got teething issues playing out from the back. As I say, Everton got them a few times, and Hurzeler is going to learn his trade. He's 32 years old as a Premier League manager. They've just had De Zerbi as manager as well, who was very much encouraging centre-backs to, put the foot on the ball, play it into midfield, try and spring a counter-attack from possession. It was very clever how they did it, and Hurzeler's coaching his tactics now. What I've noticed already is that they like to leave the pitch very open, in the way that the midfielders and the defenders, they'll sort of stay back and guard the ball, and then they'll let the front four sort of free roam, stretch the pitch. As I say, Mitoma and Adingra and Minter were stretching the pitch, and obviously with Joao Pedro and Welbeck, you've got two incisive attackers who are all-round players as well. Welbeck is good at running forward. What is he now? He's like 34. He can still run with the ball, he can hold it up, he can lay it off. He's a very clever player. Now let me know down in the comments what you thought of Brighton's performance. I'm very infused from it. I am looking forward to see how they do. I've got a feeling that they might have a heavy loss or two this season because of how ambitious the football is. Obviously they've got Wieffer bedding in, they've got a 38-year-old James Milner in midfield. Hinshelwood at left back, he's a youngster who's bedding into the team. So the team isn't exactly an elite one. Caicedo and McAllister aren't there anymore, and it's the second wave of, or the fifth wave of this Brighton evolution since they've been up in the Premier League. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the analysis, and I'll catch you next time.